This will be a quick demonstration of the Forrest Manufacturing manual or hand crank material roller. This is a model 137. We have two sizes, a model 137 for material up to 3 foot wide and the model 149 for material up to 4 foot wide. So these are hand cranked, and these are special made with features for the insulation fabrication world. So these often go to job sites. So to keep the weight down, this main frame under here is aluminum channel, and these end blocks are also aluminum. That helps keep the weight down because you're going to be carrying this to a job site, back of a pickup truck, and traditional machines, these are all steel or iron framed, and they're really heavy. I'm not going to say this is light, but it's a whole lot lighter than one with an all steel or cast iron frame. The rollers, 3 rollers in the usual configuration. The smallest roller here is a 1 3/4 inch. That's what we call the pinch roller. That's the one the material actually would spin around. The other two are 2 1/8. And let's just roll down to about, I think we can go down to like a 10-inch unrolled length, which is something like a 2 1/2, 3 inch diameter workpiece. So the way this works, David, can I get you to jump in here? This machine has all rollers driven. So on this side, we have a hand crank, which turns the top roller, or the pinch roller. On the other side, this bottom roller here is the same as the other side. And then we have an idler gear that turns the middle gear. So we have all rollers driven. Gives a better feed. Let's do it from this side so you can see it better. Actually, no, this is the better side over here to illustrate the meshing of the gears. So the pinch roller gear here is on a traveling block. So we adjust the position of that by turning these screws. And that pulls it. What we usually do is start with it all the way in at a 0 position. Then we back out as need be. Pull it out like 2 full revolutions. So that moves the traveling or slider block and that pinch roller out. So the mesh of the gear here changes as that pinch roller is moved. The teeth are always touching, but the amount of mesh does change. It's a compromise, but it's a realistic one. So if we're actually going to roll some material, which we're going to do here for you, let me go ahead and put this back on a tripod, because you're probably getting motion sickness with me hand holding this camera. So what we'll do is we're going to roll some short material, some longer material. Shorter material, this is probably like 13, 14 inches. We're going to start off, we're going to do net. The way I adjust these have to be adjusted independently. They're not connected, so you have to adjust both the same. What I do, you can count revolutions, but it's kind of awkward. So I count facets. So this is a hex bar, so 6 faces or facets. What I do is count facets. I always start by running get that side also, run it all the way in till you get a hard stop. That's the minimum possible length. Then I'll back it out. Because this has slop in it, we always want to, just like any machine tool, like a lathe or a mill, whatever, you always want to load the screws from the same side. So we're going to back out further than we need to, then go back in. I want to net 6 facets. So I'm going to come out 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then go back in 2. Then lock it in position. And I tell you what, I was busy talking there. I think I lost count. I'm going to make sure I got my count right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, back 2. Lock it in. So the machine has a couple other nice features here specific to working with jack installation. You're almost always rolling these to full closure. To make it easy to get in between the gap, we got some feed plates here. between here and here, so that you can only go in between the rollers. Then we have what we call a kick-out plate. This will illustrate in a moment. When the material comes around, if you don't have something like this, the material's just going to go roll right back around, try to refeed itself. Then it gets stuck. It's a pain in the butt. You don't want that. So our machines include this kick-out plate. David, if I could ask you to turn the magic crank. You can do this with one person. It's obviously easier with two. If you start cranking, please. And so, roll up a nice little part here. Then if you want to do a bigger piece, let's do net 2 full revolutions, so 12 facets. Go in, 3, 6, 9, 12, 2 extra, 2 back, and lock it in. I'm guesstimating a little bit on how much we have to crank these. Would you turn the handle, please? Actually, that was tighter than needed. A lot tighter. Keep going. So you can come out quite a bit further than that. I didn't come out far enough. How far you have to open these depends on the diameter you're rolling to and the thickness of your metal. That's just an experience kind of thing. But that is a demonstration of how the Forust manual hand roller, either Model 137 or 149 works. If you have any questions or like to talk about your application, please feel free to call or email us. Thank you.